Welcome to Martial Arts Explorer, exploring practical technique as revealed in classical martial arts of all styles. I'm Scott Combs. Thank you for your patience as we try to get the martialartsexplorer.tv website up and running. We're having some technical issues, but hope to be operational soon. Several people from around the world who watch Martial Arts Explorer on YouTube checked in. Panawero, or Panuhiro, whichever, from New Zealand says, "Awesome!" And I'd have a tough time arguing with that. But Gherkin 911 from Turkey asks, was he Transporter, the movie? Well, Gherkin 911 is referring to an episode when Michael's hair was cut very, very short, much like the main character in the Transporter movie series. And no, he isn't Transporter. The biggest difference between Michael and the star of the movie is that Michael pronounces his name Michael Kleinepeer, and the star of Transporter and Transporter 2 pronounces his name Jason Statham. Thanks for checking in, folks. We really like hearing from you. Finger locks are an important tool in a martial artist's repertoire. This time, Senior Master Instructor Dusty Seal goes over some fine points with regard to these very effective techniques.
This, hitting here, going here, dropping down, that's still somewhat of a big circle. The small circle parts happen, torquing and pulling this in here, torquing and pulling this in here. Everybody familiar with doing the technique? Down counter explanation for this. We'll do it this way for the camera. But just off the hand, the guy pushes, you parry, grab the hand, come in here and you start doing your finger locks. People familiar with this? You seen this before? All right, well, we'll do the full. If you're not comfortable with doing it, just thread through and grab one finger for right now, but be very, very careful when you're doing it. I first learned never overlap in the joint, so I still don't overlap the joint, but I work on my little extraordinaries and little cheat points up in here.
Why don't you overlap the joint?
Give me strength. If you overlap a joint, you're protecting the joint on both sides. Because so, like how you did the twist on him, that's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you weren't coming here, right? You isolated the finger itself. So, and that goes with anything. If I'm doing, the only reason why I would overlap the joint, the wrist joint here, if I'm doing that backward throw, is if I have the point here and the point here. And then from that position, I picture doing that. That's the only reason why I would overlap a joint. Because but we're talking points. Most people don't talk that. Most people would do this. They grab the joint and put their finger out here. Right? Stiffen up. It's not happening. Stiffen up. Ooh, sorry.
That's great.
Did I get, no. Stiffen up. That's where you got it, because you got the point now. Right? So that's the difference. Wally Jace, never overlap a joint. George, you can overlap a joint, but if you're hitting the point, because every single joint has 4 points around it that control that joint. Okay? So if you're not comfortable with this, at first just grab one finger. I almost always grab all fingers just to do it. If you're grabbing all fingers, the threat of the pinky getting behind the ring finger is what makes it work. In Chinese philosophy, triple warmer 3 here, heart 8 is here. Part of their philosophy, they think that's the closest place in the human body where full yin and yang energy is at. So the threat of those two touching, they feel will cause damage or death. So, and have you ever seen, you're going to school, have they done the stuff yet where they're taking that needle through one side of the arm and out the other, or going in here with the hand? They'll thread a needle out here and out here, you know, to whatever ailment that is. That, I don't know. That looks like that hurts. You got to position your hand just right, and they'll thread it under the bone, through the, I don't know where it goes, but it goes inside and one side and outside the other one, you know? It don't look good to me. But the thought is if you can ever touch here, or everyone knows pericardian 6, right? With 3 yins cross, triple warmer 5 is directly opposite of it, 3 yangs cross. That's a lot of these techniques, you know? Guy grabbing you, just do that on there. Nobody likes it, it hurts. But the idea of it is connecting 3 yins, 3 yangs, connecting. You know, and that's what gets your reaction off. But this pericardian 6, I mean, that sets up the entire organ structure, and it's the sac around the heart. You know, that's why everything elbow down sets up the entire body. So the idea, if I'm just doing this, the idea of it is taking that pinky and not pulling it back and behind, just letting it cross over, but the farther you get that over, the more you get the paint up. By doing this, this becomes finger lock, not finger lock and energy portion of it. So if you're going to do one finger, I want you to think about kata does this, and then it turns like this. Your hand won't go like this, and then it doesn't do this in kata. But I guarantee when you get a finger in there, you guys are going to go like this and you want to pull. You're going to do that. It happens to everybody, okay? But think about how the kata goes. The kata, guy pushes, you let go, you grab, thread. This is the part that you want to get comfortable with. Because from here, I've turned away. I want to turn back to him as I turn and do the finger lock. This does that, right? So it either makes him want to go down or makes him want to go up wherever you turn the palm. But this bridging here, now that kind of, it says he wants to go down, right? Now we don't know where he wants to go. So you're sitting here like this and he's up and down, up and down, up. They don't know what. But the idea of it is just to come up in here. This is just your base now. But it's a base to get in here where I'm not trapping, you know, I'm not holding on to it. I'm just base for that split second. I can still parry off and do whatever it is that I want to do. But I want you to look at it just like the kata. Move a little bit, however it was, you know, remember our first part that we did this to get the hand across. You can do it like this. Get the finger lock in, torque, and start the lock. As you turn back to him, this pushes up and tenses in. Move it to here. So now, see how my hand is? Stay right there, please. The kata does not do this. The kata does this to this. It gives you the angle and direction in the small circle portion. While I'm running this way, I'm running this way. I want him to go that way, so I keep the pressure on as I rotate. Here's where he starts to go down, but that's the direction I want him to go, so I rotate his palm that direction. Wherever you want them to go when you're finger locking, you turn the palm. This is not it. That releases the pressure. That puts them where you want them to go, right? So if you start off on all the fingers and you start sliding, it don't matter, right? Because the whole idea, by the time you get to here, if it's off, it's off. That's fine. Here, up, right to that spot. Boom. You want to punch him when his head's about right there. That's where you catch him back up to him. So I want us to do that first, because this is just like the kata. Here, here, step and punch. Okay? So when you're working on these, I mean, you've got everything lit up, especially once you get the pinky behind, you've got small intestine and heart firing. If you're concentrating just on this, and this is why I want you to do just one finger first, because when you grab more than one finger, this technique takes everything out of the equation. You know, the rule of thumb, one finger you go down, two fingers you go up. I grab everybody and I do the same thing. What I'm saying, finger lock. You know your fingers? Give me strength. One finger, because now he's got all of his fingers, right? He's got his strength. So the way that you get around all of it is, no matter what, it's just redirection and then back down. So even if I grab one finger, I'm still zigzagging and doing it. It gives you variable pressure, complex torque, all that stuff on there. You know, I mean, and there's some guys that their one finger is, you know, I mean, I'm a little guy. I used to work at the casino, and there was this humongous black dude, OJ. I would have to, when I shook his hand, when I did it, you did not see my hand. I started just shaking his top two fingers. And so I felt like Mini-Me, man. I'd shake his top two fingers and I would go on. His hands were huge, you know? So there's no use. I mean, I'm not grabbing all of his fingers and doing this. I can't even get him around it. But when you get comfortable with doing things, you're threading. You know, the push is coming in. You're just redirecting it right to here. You can grab the whole thing. If your thumb is straight, you thread right through. But that's the same thing that you do in some portions of your kata, right? That could be teaching you to thread through here, thread through here, whatever. Or it's teaching you to thread through there, turn it that way, and now it's the shot into there. I mean, it's the same movement, all right? So that's what teaches you, boom, get them locked in. If you're doing the one finger, just be careful because you're torquing the whole way down with it, right? And see this is my extension, right? I don't have full extension and he's over here. I just call myself because I'm talking and not actually doing the full technique, but look how far away he is from me. But I'm still bent. That's what I want, is I want him brought back over into my line when I do it, and that's doing the full movement, okay? So just do the kata here, grab the fingers, get them, put it onto here, turn back into the guy, but do this, and then torque him down, because we don't do this in the kata. Rotate, and go back that direction, right? So if you cut yourself short and you do it in down counter, you know, same thing. If you find, you know, this, do you guys do pinyon with cat stance and the hands are up? That's still the same thing, boom. But it's working. If I got him, he's starting to fall out, I let go or something happened, I fell out, this is the movement. Now I'm on a smaller plane. Get your shot, boom. That's the technique, right? So, all right, let's try that. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Hey guys, just real quick, let me use your fingers. Real quick. All right, do that. Real quick, I want you guys to see this. If you, again, another reason why for not grabbing the whole joint. If I grab here, I'm gonna start doing the finger lock, and you just bend your finger. There's nothing there, even though I got the one finger. All right, say I'm not overlapping the joint, and let's see how I can do this. I'll make my finger do a beat. Now I'm gonna do this. Do the same thing. I'm not overlapping the joint. I'm just grabbing there. But if your middle part of your finger is extended, that's your count. So anytime somebody grabs you here, curl that finger. Don't let them get to it. Right? Not right now. Let each other do it. But the whole idea is when you're going to isolate one finger, fingertip goes in the web of your hand and you grab it. And this locks here. And now, bend your own finger. Starts helping him with it, you know? They can't, that's what you want to do, get it a full extension. So the same thing if you got this. It's full extension. If I grab here, if he's got a bigger hand, he's just going to grab me and torque me into something. I don't want that to happen. I want to do this. Lock it out. So you make a fist. The pinky is going behind. It's squeezing. These are squeezing. That's your rotation, boom. That's how you can, you know, whatever you want them to get into, right? So that's how you're gonna rotate and get the whole thing for the rotation, but you gotta, to the top. Shoot them fingers, when he's pushing at you, you come out here, bam, and then lock it. Push him and guide him in here, right? Everybody can do this, right? Most people. We can all do it. It's the same thing, guide him right to you, bam. He's locked, boom. There's your shot. The second that you do this, if you've got a bigger paw than you, yeah, you're in for a bad spot, right? Or even if you just do this. If they understand how to bend the finger, you know, what's a natural reaction for anybody? If you mess it up and they go to grab, get that off of me, right? So I want to stop that from happening. That's the fail-safe. All right, can I get somebody a little comfortable with the brake volume? Let's go this side. All right, so we did this, right? So what I was onto, I made the comment about small circle. You can create small circle, you know, in your stances and everything, you know, doing throws and stuff like that. But again, here's another little take on this on this technique. We're comfortable doing that and going with it, right? Well, think about what we were doing before. Here, kind of mix the two together, okay? So I still want to grab, this hand is still going to grab here, but I want to do it off of an entry lock from the entry lock, and an entry from the finger lock. So the push comes in, you still parry it. All this hand is doing is guide it to it. So you guide it right to this hand, right? If you grab all, great. If you grab 3, 1, whatever, fine. But here, now, the concept is changing. This hand isn't the one doing the down counter. This is my retracting hand, okay? So I still want to get the finger lock and get this in, but I want to grab here now, okay? Really hair here or something, but we're going to grab here. So now I'm creating a smaller circle. Instead of doing this and walking and pulling, I'm going to create my circle, or create my finger lock and get the guy locked into here. So now I'm back to this position. This hand has to come to my waist as this hand pulls down. So it's just a different variation off of it. You got them locked in. That's coming here. It's a pretty effective, quicker down counter. So when we do this, I want you to do this, please. The finger lock hand is coming back to the waist. You're going to do the same thing. Help your opponent down. Drop out with this. His butt's usually somewhere right around here, but you got to hold with the fingers. So once you get him in this position, ease off the technique. Just hold the fingers, right? So hold the fingers until you're comfortable with doing the movement. So from here, then you pull back, and you still got the technique. But this is just, it's by fingers now instead of by this. Understand? So it's the same you're kind of combining the two techniques, but working on a quicker, boom, lock. This comes, and you just do that movement, right? I'm keeping it in the parameters of down counter, but it's that, that is like the answer to everything, so it's still the same movement. Well, here, I'm in this position. If I want to base it against my skin, my stomach, I'm like this. Anything you guys work on basing, everything is a base, right? That's what this is. That's what your chest is. That's what your cat stance is for. That's what the ground is for. Very first finger lock Professor J taught me was to do this and drag that guy all the way down and use the ground as the base. So that's what you want to be able to do. When you get locked in anywhere, if his hand is turned this direction, his palm is right against me, here, just rotate it still, and that's going to get him to start dropping the direction. You just want to boom, pull him in. Use this as your move. Right? Same thing, just a different outlook on it, all right? Take it easy, torque on each other's fingers, but I want you to get a smaller circle with it. Instead of whipping the guy, quicker to the ground.
Remember that a quick double tap is the signal to ease up on the finger lock. You want to make the technique work, but you don't want to injure your friend, and we aren't responsible for any injuries that may occur. We love hearing from you. Send email to explorer@martialartsexplorer.tv. And make sure to check out martialartsexplorer.tv, the website, once in a while to see if we've finally gotten our act together. For Michael Kleinepier, and not Jason Statham, I'm Scott Combs. Thanks for watching.